The suffer when you suffer for me. When I dey cry, my mother go carry me. She go say my pikin, wetin you dey cry yo yo. Stop, 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 make you no cry again. No. Kristana bendi wani yeye, Kristana gwalunaga mumoyo. Kristana Kristana bendi wani yeye, Kristana gwalunaga mumoyo. Kristana
of Africa,
I love you.
On the station that gives you the best in the world of music, Melody 100.7 FM. This is called Lagos Night. Lakosa featuring She's a Cool Stars. This is Africa, where music is live. Yeah, 17 minutes downside, 1 on the PM side. Yes, Melody 100.7 FM, African Rhythms. Here comes Jumbo Express, and this is Mother Africa. Mother Africa.
Mother Africa, show your children the way. Can you show the direction? Mother Africa, show your children the way. Try to show the direction. children are suffering. Your children are suffering. Oh, suffering in silence. Your children are hungry. Hungry in silence. Mother Africa, show your children the way. Try to show the direction. Mother Africa. You so good, mother. Save the soul, save the soul, save the soul. Mama, shine the light on your children. Mama, show the way. Nobody knows the way. Oh, Mama Africa, wonderful mother. Your children are crying, crying for survival. Your children are homeless, homeless in their homeland. Oh, Mama, Mama Africa, you so good. Please, Mama Africa, Mother Africa, show your children the way. Show the direction. Mother Africa, show your children. Oh, show the direction. You can do it, you feel it. Mama, 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 you really good so far. Oh, you Mother Africa, you save the soul, save the soul, save the soul, save the soul, save the soul.
Mother Africa. Jambo Express on African Readings, Melody 100.7 FM. Live and direct here in IB City. Yes, Africa, do you know that the River Niger Bridge at Onitsha was constructed between 1964 and 1965 by a French construction company and cost 5 million, 5 million pounds. Yeah, you can change it into Naira these days. 5 million pounds. 5 million pounds. That was Onitsha Bridge. The Niger Onitsha Bridge. 64 to 65 and the cost of 5 million pounds. African Rhythms right here on Melody FM. Yes, 100.7. Listen to this one from Jumbo Express to another beautiful music. This is Love from Ghana. This is Nana Achankon.
Ima bla 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 bla, my son dance.
This one is titled Who.
Let me see. So ni moi, waste away. Your betchy wins to see, sir. Yeah, time to tell boy. Mr. One, anyone, dear, my. Now, see what they do propose to me. I did beg you, my baby, yeah. Yeah, walk on, Consenty. The second way, da. Mr. One, so they come in once a month. Oh, my dear, I can't hear my yo. And what you mean, because I'm one into Mr. White. See, we didn't even move. As I'm saying about Francis, soon to the media, men, let me once a move. Once I'm kick a baby, so I can't have a candy yanko. When you mammy can't you, media, let me move. It's a shame went to my wife, and yes, I'm a dear, baby, I will see you. Yeah, worry about what we call it to the gun, once I'm kick a baby. Yeah, go down for 1 second, I'm a feeling image. And now bet you where she say, I can't bet you ways to see say. And some can be brave, so be no one would me can say that. And to some in the freedom, yeah, then who would me not town for Anna. Town for me, what I say, the brand found to see. Baby, and can we go to now? Come and share. So show me out, cause in any way, you want to jam and why. Until I cry. And some can't also say, we deep and brow, Benny, you know, now I count for those. And Mammy, I want 2 hours on another town for see when you know. And then met you, may won't see it once and kick a baby. When you are kind of very white, and son, I can't hear you. Missing who made you name me, and found to see that Uncle Pem say, a cow won't come and me, I say you. And so I know you are my faint, you know. Me say, what's I'm for break out. And see around it, you cry. Subject, teach the woman, you cry. And I'm a farmer, baby, and some can't do. Swing and sing, Kenya, swing and sing, Kenya, swing and sing, Kenya,
Africa. That's what we're talking about. Here comes. We're moving straight from Gold Coast. We move straight to South Africa. South Africa with the lady Brenda. This is Vuli Indela. Good music for good people on Melody 100.7 FM. With the African Tory Master Big Daddy saying good afternoon if you are just joining us. This is the station to be. Yeah, 5 minutes to 5 minutes to 2 on the PM side. Love from South Africa. That is late Brenda there doing Vuli Indela. Yes, Vuli Indela on African Rhythms or your great station that gives it the best. That is Melody 100.7 FM. Melody 0.7 FM. Katsina College, now Barewa College in Zaria, has produced 5 Nigerian president head of state since it was founded in 1921 in Katsina. See, Katsina College. That was in Zaria there. Katsina College, that now Barewa College in Zaria, has produced 5 Nigerian presidents head of state since it was founded in 1921 in Katsina. More music right here, more African music right here on African Rhythms on Melody 100.7 FM. Let's go there. This is Nigeria. This is the eastern part of Nigeria. This is Oriental Brothers, led by Sawario. Nobody knows who is who. Africa. It's only the creator of the universe that who knows whom you are. No man is perfect. is Nigeria. Oriental brothers there going. I don't know who is who, you know. African rhythms right here on Melody 100.7 FM right here in Ibe City. That is the battle, the capital city of your state right here in Nigeria. Well, I told you that Katsina College, now Barewa College in Zaria, has produced 5 Nigerian presidents, head of state, since it was founded in 1921 in Katsina. More music, more African music, like I told you. If you want to place your advert on this program, you are welcome. And before I go, I'll give you my number, and then you have to call. On our Facebook page, you can continue to share this program everywhere. We're everywhere in the world, you know that. African Tourism is here. Here comes another beautiful one. I told you it's going to be Africa. This is Eden, love from Congo.
Et Dieu créa l'homme, de l'homme est venue la femme. C'était l'histoire d'Adam et Ève dans le jardin d'Éden. C'était le bonheur, humain la trahison. À cause du fruit du péché, chérie, nous souffrons toi et moi. Et Dieu créa l'homme, de l'homme venu la femme. C'était l'histoire d'Adam et Ève dans le jardin d'Éden. C'était le bonheur, humain la trahison. À cause du fruit du péché, chérie, nous souffrons toi et moi. Même si ton pied, mon pied, oh ma belle, il faut être sage. Puisque pour l'éternité nous sommes unis, tu dois être sage. Même si ton pied, mon pied, oh ma belle, il faut être sage. Puisque pour l'éternité nous sommes unis, tu dois être sage. Aimer, aimer. Tu es à moi, je suis à toi. Aimer, aimer. Tu es à moi, je suis à toi. Je ne t'en veux pas, oh ma belle, pour cette pomme de l'Éden que tu m'avais donné, que nous avions mangé ensemble, toi et moi. Je ne t'en veux pas, oh ma belle, pour cette pomme de l'Éden que tu m'avais donné, que nous avions mangé ensemble, toi et moi. Aimer, aimer. Tu es à moi, je suis à toi. Aimer, aimer. Tu es à moi, je suis à toi. Il faut être sage, puisque pour l'éternité nous sommes unis, tu dois être sage. Même si ton pied, mon pied, oh ma belle, il faut être sage, puisque pour l'éternité nous sommes unis, tu dois être sage. Aimer, aimer. Tu es à moi, je suis à toi. Aimer, aimer. Tu es à moi, je suis à toi.
African readings. This is Eden, love from Congo, Brazzaville. And the loves from me to you all there, making your Saturday a lovely one. On Melody 100.7 FM right here in Ibe City.
Tu es ma moitié. Je t'aime toi chérie, moitié toi, moitié moi. Je suis Adam, tu es Ève d'aujourd'hui. Oh mamichou, je serai toujours près de toi. Mon amour de toujours. Tu es ma moitié. Je t'aime toi chérie, moitié toi, moitié moi. Tu es ma moitié. Je t'aime toi chérie, moitié toi, moitié moi. Nous nous sommes unis pour le meilleur et pour le pire. Tu seras toujours à mes côtés, ma compagne de toujours. Tu es ma moitié. Je t'aime toi chérie, moitié toi, moitié moi. Tu es ma moitié. Je t'aime toi chérie, moitié toi, moitié moi. Hier c'était l'Éden, l'Éden d'aujourd'hui c'est cette terre. Simplifions-nous la vie chérie, pour le bonheur et l'amour. Tu es ma moitié. Je t'aime toi chérie, moitié toi, moitié moi. Tu es ma moitié. Je t'aime toi chérie, moitié toi, moitié moi.
Melody 100.7 FM. Here's 30 minutes to 2 on the PM side with the African touring master. That is Aiden, love from Congo. Here comes, coming back to Nigeria again. Here comes Yemi Alade on Shakare.
Ça c'est du spécial.
Good music to say it's live. If everything fails, tune to Melody 100.7 FM.
Dance one more.
This is Africa. This is Nigeria. This is Oyo State. This is Ibadan. This is Melody 100.7 FM. Yemi Alade doing Shakade featuring Angela Kijo. Yeah, this is where I was saying BYE on today's edition of African Readings. I'd like to say a big thanks to my audio manager here. I'm talking about Daniel here for a good job. And of course to Bobola here, my Facebook guy, you know, like I said, share it everywhere. That guy making it easy there for me on our Facebook page, Melody 100.7 FM. And of course, my engineering officer on duty, Moses. God bless you, really good. And to you out there who have been staying to the Melody 100.7 FM. Yeah, this is Big Daddy Catagram. Next week, Saturday, I'll be here again to take you around Africa on African Readings. Well, don't stop when you are tired. Only stop when you are done. Just got to thank me, and I got to thank you. So whatever you may be doing out there is Saturday. Don't drive if you are drunk. Always tell your people where you are going, so when it is late, they will know where to find you. Underscore weather, always take care of your elders out there, the papas and the mamas, the grandma and the grandpas. From now till close down, stay tuned on Melody 100.7 FM. From one interesting program to another, from one interesting music to another to spice up your day. From me to you, I'm saying, God bless you, Rigo, till next Saturday.